You ever get a letter so wild you laugh out loud just reading the first line? That was me 3 years back, standing in the middle of my kitchen, coffee in one hand, official envelope in the other, thinking maybe my old Aunt Eleanor had finally lost it, until I got to the end and realized, nope, this was real. She'd left me her lakefront property, sure, but also a weird little island dead center of the water, sitting there like it forgot it was supposed to sink. No joke. She even scribbled a note in her shaky handwriting. The lake kept me sane, Theo. Now it's your turn. Take care of my island. Don't let anyone mess with it. I snorted at that, like who in their right mind would want a chunk of muddy sand out here in the middle of nowhere. Seemed almost poetic, not prophetic. If only I'd known. Truth is, that island barely counted as land back then, a sandbar with ambition, maybe a couple 100 feet all the way around. But it was mine. After a year of slogging through more paperwork than a tax attorney on Red Bull, zoning records, water rights, you name it, I finally owned it clean. Turns out Aunt Eleanor had registered the island as its own parcel decades ago, separate title, even its own lot number, sitting outside all the new HOA lines they'd started drawing around here. A legal island, in more ways than one. And let me tell you, once I got my hands on it, I made that place a real sanctuary. Dumped a few tons of fill and gravel, fixed the shoreline, reinforced the dock, put up a little modern cabin with solar panels, rainwater filters, a composting toilet. I wasn't building a party spot. I just wanted peace. Somewhere for my wife and kids to run wild on school breaks. Some weekends when the city noise got too loud. No airbums, no big gatherings, just books, fishing rods, dogs snoring in the sun. Silence broken by nothing but loons and my kids' laughter. Funny thing, the town's maps never caught up with what I'd built. Suited me just fine. That's what Eleanor loved, that privacy, and I started loving it too. The lake's not huge, 40, maybe 50 acres hugged by old farmland on one side, and, lately, creeping suburbia on the other. That's where trouble started poking its nose. They'd slapped up this shiny new development called Pine Water Reserve, a place so fancy you needed a lifestyle advisor just to pick out your mail. Homeowners Association, all that jazz. But I didn't think twice my island's off-grid, not on their plat, not in their system. We'd coexist, I figured. Me with my solar cabin, them with their robot mowers and Amazon drones. Sometimes their kids paddled over in kayaks and yelled, "Cool house." I waved back. I'm not the grumpy old hermit. Well, I wasn't, not yet. But last summer, things started feeling off. Same families, same times, circling the island, snapping photos. Then I found a Pine Water Reserve brochure washed up on my shore. My island was blurred out in their aerial photo, like it was some kind of state secret. I laughed. Pristine, they called the development. My buddy used to say, that's just corporate for sterile. I didn't sweat it. Paid my taxes, kept my permits up to date, even patched up the old county dock for free. I wasn't bothering anybody. Then came the Saturday that changed everything. I was hip-deep in the lake cleaning a filter when this pontoon boat slides in all quiet. 3 people on board, dressed like a bank commercial. White linen, designer sunglasses, clipboard. They docked. No invite. And the woman out front flashes a smile sharp enough to slice bread. Karen Wilson, president of the Pine Water Reserve, HOA. Next to her was Jill, development liaison, and Brad, the legal guy. I didn't shake hands. She's glancing around like she's shopping for a timeshare. Really ashamed this place isn't available to the community, she says, all sugary. Good thing it's not part of your community, I shot back. Brad laughed, Karen didn't. She kept that smile, said their HOA had voted the lake into their jurisdiction and my island was now an illegal structure on a shared resource. Like that meant anything. Decided by who? I asked. The board. She said I didn't need to be a member. When the community votes to expand, jurisdiction applies retroactively. I almost laughed in her face. That's not how land law works, not even in monopoly. She started talking about environmental impact, public access, all these fancy words. I looked at Brad. He's nodding like a bobblehead. I told them I've got every deed, tax slip, permit. Nobody's taking this place. Her smile faded. We don't want conflict, she said. But if you won't cooperate, the board may have to take appropriate steps. Jill piped up about a relocation grant. I just laughed. I'm not getting relocated off my own damn land. Karen did one more slow spin, taking it all in. Enjoy your weekend, Mr. Marshall. I'll be in touch. And just like that, they vanished, boats sliding off, leaving a perfume cloud and a warning bell ringing in my gut. Not anger, not fear, just that sixth sense you get after years of seeing storms before they hit. Monday, I hit the county records office. Wasn't paranoid. Not yet, just practical. Every time someone with designer sunglasses wants to facilitate a transition, you know it's you, not them, who's going to get moved. Dug into Pine Water's petitions, expansion votes, jurisdiction filings. Turns out, they petitioned to reclassify the lake as a community-managed recreational ecosystem. All eco-speak for we want to control this water. Not illegal, just sneaky. What set my teeth on edge was that their packet to the county included drone shots of my island. Red circles drawn around my dock, my solar panels, bold print. Unregulated private development continues to endanger long-term health of the lake. Never mind, every nail, panel, and compost toilet was stamped, permitted, and triple notarized. I sent the whole mess to Cassidy, my lawyer. Tough as a $2 steak, mouth like a wood chipper. She called me back. Someone's laying groundwork to steal your island, with a smile. They don't have to win. They just need to drown you in enough red tape that you suffocate. Inspections, access limits, maybe even demolition orders. They just slow walk me off my own land. Next week, glossy signs go up everywhere. Lake Pine Water, a community treasure, reclaiming access for all. Underneath, Pine Water Reserve's logo. The website's full of birds, sunsets, and Karen's face looking serious. We love this lake, but its serenity is under threat. An unregulated island has disrupted the natural balance. She was running a PR campaign against me. That's when construction started across the shore, a massive pier, lighting, seating, kayak kiosk, you name it. I sent a cease and desist with every zoning law cited. Got radio silence and more trucks. Then came the Pine Water Lake Watch patrol boat, slow loops around the island, a woman with binoculars, a man with a clipboard. That's when I put up cameras, motion sensors. Didn't mean I was playing their game, but I wasn't letting them play it alone. One night, I catch a woman on their new pier, phone pointed straight at my island. I waved. She flipped me off. Classic. Back at the records office, my friend Drew, the clerk who knows more legal loopholes than a room full of senators, pulls up a new permit. Not under the HOA, but Coastal Delta Holdings LLC. Their plans: wellness retreat, floating lodges, private beach, and, right in the center, a luxury villa on my island. Emails from Karen's board to the company, lining up construction as soon as unregulated occupant is gone. It was all happening behind the scenes. That's when the real fun began. The HOA's patrol boat started getting bolder. One day, two guys in polos tried to board my dock, flashing fake badges, saying they'd had complaints. Cool story, I said, untying their boat and shoving them off before they could say code violation. Not long after, I found two men inside my cabin, dressed in knockoff sheriff blues, no patches, no names. We're conducting an inspection under HOA directive. Show me a warrant, I said. Nothing. Just smug. I was ready to throw them out myself, heart pounding, when I heard boots on the dock. It was Noah, my old army buddy, the kind of guy who once chased a black bear off his porch with a frying pan. He just strolled in, looked at the intruders, and in one move, ripped a fake badge off and decked the guy in the nose. The second one bolted for the boat, like he was on fire. Real sheriff showed up, cuffed the remaining guy. Turned out both were private security hired by Pine Water HOA. Zero authority, just scare tactics. Next morning, headline in the local paper: HOA security caught trespassing on private island. My photo, arms crossed, Noah in the background grinning. The HOA claimed rogue contractors, blah blah, damage control. But 3 days later, I got slapped with a county notice. Pine Water Reserve HOA was suing, saying my island was an unauthorized structure on federal waters, subject to removal. They weren't knocking now, they were kicking down the door. Cassidy came out swinging. She froze enforcement, filed counterclaims for harassment. The hearing was a circus. Karen walked in with a legal team, pearl necklace, dead-eyed smile. Their lawyer rattled off nonsense about protecting shared resources from road developers. They brought in some consultant to say my solar panels might scare birds. Cassidy just thunked down a binder thicker than my thigh. Every permit, deed, clearance, environmental report, and a glowing letter from the fish and wildlife guy. Then she dropped the real bomb. Email showing Karen had coordinated with Coastal Delta, funneling HOA money to build a pier, to PR firms, all while plotting to kick me out. Judge slapped an injunction, paused everything, and referred the mess for criminal investigation. For a week, it was quiet. Then I came back to find my solar wiring sliced, fridge dead, water pump off. Someone planted a GPS tracker under my rainwater system. Serial traced back to a security firm owned by Karen's husband. This wasn't just HOA drama. This was a family-run siege. That night, someone tried to burn my dock, trail cam smashed, but a scrap of paper with the HOA logo left behind, just to send a message. I wasn't scared, just done. But the final straw came from City Livestream. Karen at the podium, talking about repurposing my island as a wellness site for the community, same as the private villa from Coastal Delta's plans. Cassidy filed for an emergency hearing. This time we brought witnesses. The ex-HOA treasurer testified Karen kept the board in the dark, signing off on secret payments, hiring security, running surveillance. Nate, the IT guy, traced emails and security footage straight back to Karen's husband. The prosecutors started sniffing fraud. The judge froze their accounts, extended the injunction, and board members started quitting left and right. Over the next months, forensic accountants tore through Pinewater's books, found embezzlement, illegal surveillance, shell companies, a $12,000 community drone that was really a spy balloon pointed at my island. Karen's husband tried to dump his company, but the trail was too short. Prosecutors brought charges: fraud, unlawful surveillance, false authority, conspiracy to commit arson. When the verdict came down, Karen got 12 years, no parole for 5. Her husband was caught fleeing the state. HOA dissolved, pier torn down, property returned to conservation, and my island stood firm. Funny, nobody cheered in the courtroom. I just let out a breath. The paper ran a photo of me and my kids fishing, dog at our feet, headline, "He won." A week later, a bunch of high schoolers visited, brought a cake that read, "Thanks for fighting the HOA, Mr. Theo." One kid asked, "Does that sign mean nobody's allowed here?" I grinned. Nah, it just means you got a knock. So here's my question for you. What would you have done? When is a fight just about land, and when does it turn into something bigger? Drop a comment, tell me your wildest HOA story, or what justice means to you. Because sometimes standing your ground is the only way to make sure the next person gets to stand too.